Hi students, welcome to yet another session of my class Reading Fiction. We are discussing different types of novel, and today we are going to discuss two different types of novel. One is historical novel and the other one is gothic novel. Let us discuss in detail what you mean by historical novel. Historical novel, yes. From the title itself, we can understand that it is something related with history, or it is the expression of some factual events or true historical events that has happened in the past, or the manners and beliefs specific to that period, etc. Yes, like the meaning of the title itself, historical novels contain the depiction of a specific historical period and the manners and beliefs specific to that period, varying degrees of factual accuracy regarding the historical events and the presence of historical characters either as protagonists or as minor characters. Yes. Historical novels contain the depiction of a specific historical period. Historical novel means it is the depiction of a specific or a particular historical period. It is the expression. Historical novel means it is the expression of a particular historical period and the manners and beliefs specific to that period. Yes, it is the expression of the culture or the manners and beliefs of that specific to that particular period. Then expression of varying degrees of factual accuracy. That is the expression of a true expression of factual events regarding the historical events and the presence of historical characters. That means the major character or the protagonist in a historical novel may be a historical figure. Presence of historical characters either as protagonists or as minor characters. When you study history of English literature, you already completed all English up to Romantic age and now you are studying Victorian era. Am I right? Yes. That is 14th century literature, 15th century, 16th century, etc. At that time, you studied different ages, different characteristic features of different ages, especially in the case of their culture, social background, historical background, difference between what are the differences between these different ages in the case of historical background, social background, etc. In addition to this historical background, social background, political background, we are studying the literary expressions or the literary differences between different ages also. So at that time, we can see that yes, there are marked differences in the manners, beliefs, expressions of literature from one period to another. That means each literary work is a reproduction or not reproduction, it is a representation of that age, that particular age. That means we can trace the characteristic features of that age from that particular literary work. So we can say that historical novels contain the depiction of a specific historical period and the manners and beliefs specific to that period, varying degrees of factual accuracy regarding the historical events and the presence of historical characters either as protagonists or as minor characters. Then, it is closer to romance than realism. This historical novel is believed that this historical novel is closer to romance rather than realism, and the subject matter can be both public and private events, and the protagonist may be an actual figure, that is a true figure from the main protagonist or the hero of the historical novel, or the protagonist may be an actual figure or a true figure from history, or sometimes an imaginary figure or imaginary character. And these imaginary characters are protagonists whose destiny is intertwined with the actual events, whose destiny is intertwined in the sense means mixed up with the actual events. So the matter can be both public and private events, and the protagonist may be an actual figure from history or an imaginary whose destiny is intertwined with the actual events. Then in England, Sir Walter Scott, and in America, James Fenimore Cooper were the major practitioners of this particular type of novel, historical novel. It is in England, Sir Walter Scott is considered as a major practitioner, and in America, James Fenimore Cooper. These two personalities, that is Sir Walter Scott and Fenimore Cooper, were the major practitioners of the form. Then Cooper is considered to be the pioneer in the field of the Western. That is a form that presents the life on the American Western frontier, usually featuring cowboys, etc. That is Cooper, that is Fenimore Cooper is considered to be the pioneer in the field of the Western literature. Then Walter Scott's Waverley novels, that is 1814 publications, and Fenimore Cooper's Leatherstocking Tales were largely concerned with the social changes of great magnitude, like issues of the Scottish clans and conflict with the Native Americans, etc. That Scott's Waverley novels. It is important for exams. Maybe one mark question may be asked from this part. That is Walter Scott's Waverley novels. Example, best example for historical novel. Walter Scott's Waverley novel, 1814 publication, and Fenimore Cooper's Leatherstocking Tales were largely concerned with the social changes of great magnitude, like issues of the Scottish clans and conflict with the Native Americans, etc. That means the subject matter of these works, Waverley novels and Cooper's Leatherstocking Tales, etc. The subject matter is purely based on some real issues or the historical expression of that historical expression, that is the issues of the Scottish clans and the conflict with the Native Americans. That is the true history is depicted in these two works, that is Scott's Waverley and Cooper's Leatherstocking Tales. Then other 19th century masters of the form, that is masters of this historical novel, were Victor Hugo, Alexandre Dumas, Charles Dickens, Tolstoy, etc. That is Victor Hugo's Notre Dame de Paris is a famous historical novel. Then Alexandre Dumas, The Three Musketeers, Charles Dickens, A Tale of Two Cities, and Tolstoy, War and Peace is a true example for a historical novel. That is 1863-69 work, War and Peace. Then A Tale of Two Cities, 1859 publication. Then in the 20th century, the form remained popular with the novels like Margaret Mitchell's Gone with the Wind. It is 1936 publication. That is in modern age, that is in the 20th century, this particular literary form, that is historical novel, remained popular with the novels like Margaret Mitchell's Gone with the Wind. The techniques of the historical novel were used in the creation of the realistic novel of the 19th century. Yes, the techniques of the historical novel were used in the creation of the realistic novel of the 19th century. Yes, when we discussed about romance in the previous class, I mentioned regarding realistic novel. That is in the mid-19th century, the romance is developed into or realistic novels. That is the depiction of some realistic events in the novels. So the techniques of the historical novel that were used in the creation of the realistic novel of the 19th century. This mid-19th century is famous for realistic novels. So many realistic novels are produced during this era, that is the mid-19th century. and the techniques of the historical novel were used in the creation of the realistic novel of the 19th century. Many novels combined an accurate description of the past with a naturalistic treatment of the present. That is, in realistic novel, we can see the combined description of the combined and accurate description of the past with a naturalistic treatment of the present. Some novelists attribute the outlook and beliefs of the people of his or her day to the historical characters. This charge has been frequently laid against historical romances. This charge in the sense means some novelists attribute the outlook and beliefs of the people of his or her day to the historical characters. This charge has been frequently laid against historical romances. These historical romances, which are historical only in costume and language, that is in the appearance, outward appearance and language, historical in nature, and remain contemporary in everything else. That is, the other features remain contemporary. That is regarding the depiction of characters or theme, etc. That remain contemporary in everything else. That is the genre called historical romance. That is historical only in costume and language and remain contemporary in everything else. And it is divided into, these historical romances are divided into many subgenres like Viking, medieval, Tudor, Georgian, etc. depending on the period in which it is set. And Kathleen Woodwise's The Flame and the Flower was a path-breaking novel in this genre, that is historical romance. The best example for historical romance is Kathleen Woodwise's The Flame and the Flower. It is 1972 publication. And thus, when the historical novel attempts a study of the relationship between personal fortunes and social reality. Thus, when the historical novel attempts a study of the relationship between personal fortunes and social reality, the costume romance. This in the term historical romance, romance is just considered as a costume and language to the genre historical novel. So, when the historical novel attempts a study of the relationship between personal fortunes and social reality, this outward appearance or the costume romance employs history as a decorative background to its characters. Understand? Yes, when we discuss about or when we study when the historical novel attempts a study of the relationship between personal fortunes and social reality, that means the outlook and beliefs of the people of his or her day to the historical characters. The costume romance employs history as a decorative background to its characters. And thus we can see a revived interest in historical fiction during mid-20th century. Thus there was a revived interest in historical fiction during mid-20th century, the most attractive one. I think all of you understand this historical novel, this particular type of novel, that is historical novel. It's something related with the history, historical events, then the depiction of factual events regarding the historical events and the presence of historical characters as protagonists, etc. And historical novel is closer to romance than realism. Then the major practitioners of this form and the important works in this particular genre, that is Scott's Waverley and Cooper's The Leatherstocking Tales. Then at last is the techniques of the historical novel were used in the creation of the realistic novel of the 19th century. That means the description of the past with the naturalistic treatment of the present. And this charge has been frequently laid against historical romance. That means historical romance means which are historical only in costume and language and remain contemporary in other features. I think all of you understand historical novel. Next we are going to discuss Gothic novel. Gothic novel. Yes, the word Gothic derives from Goths. The word Gothic derives from Goths, a northern European tribe. Yes, these Goths are northern European tribes that warred against the Roman Empire. What means engage in a war. So the word Gothic derives from Goths, a northern European tribe that is engaged in a war against the Roman Empire. This tribal people, that is northern European tribes, they warred against the Roman Empire, and the word Gothic derives from the term Goths. The adjective also signifies a monstrous, barbarous, disorderly style in art that departs from the Greek or Roman tradition. And this particular adjective, that is Gothic, the term, also signifies monstrous, barbarous, disorderly style in art that departs from means that away from the Greco-Roman tradition. Greco-Roman tradition. What is the peculiarity of Greco-Roman tradition? Greco-Roman means something related with the early Greeks and Romans. Greco-Roman means related with the Greeks and Roman, etc. So Greco-Roman tradition means, yes, we all know that this Greeks and Romans, they made significant contributions to religion, philosophy, then science of truth, knowledge, etc. So this particular term signifies a monstrous, barbarous, disorderly. Look at the terms. All these are negative terms. That is negative meaning. Monstrous, barbarous, disorderly style in art or literature that departs from that, away from the Greco-Roman tradition. Greco-Roman, it is something a golden, like a golden period in literature or something like that. That is something closely associated with the knowledge, truth, really, etc. That is, they made significant contributions to religion, philosophy, science of truth, knowledge, etc. And this tradition, that is Gothic novel, or the term Gothic, that particular literary form, that style is away from, that is, that departs from this Greco-Roman tradition. So the word Gothic derives from Goths, a northern European tribe that warred against the Roman Empire, and the adjective also signifies a monstrous, barbarous, disorderly style in art that departs from the Greco-Roman tradition. In course of time, it was used to describe a literary genre abounding in horror and fantasy, pioneered by Horace Walpole in his Castle of Otranto. Castle of Otranto is important. This particular work, Walpole's Castle of Otranto, is famous as a Gothic novel. In later years, it was used to describe this particular literary form, or the term Gothic. It was used to describe a literary genre. Gothic, that particular word, was used to describe a literary genre abounding in horror and fantasy. That particular literary form, it contains literature, that is, that literary genre abounding in horror and fantasy. And this particular literary form was pioneered by Horace Walpole in his Castle of Otranto. All of you understand? That is, in later years, this particular term Gothic was used to describe a literary genre. That means it represents this particular literary term. This term, that is the term Gothic, it represents a literary genre abounding in horror and fantasy. And the Gothic novel originated soon after the birth of the novel. It can be seen as a response to the meekness of the novel of manners and the novel of sensibility. Yes, this particular literary form, that is Gothic novel, it can be seen as a response to the meekness of the novel of manners and the novel of sensibility. As a response to the meekness in the sense means the weak condition of the. So this particular literary form can be seen as a response to that weak condition of the submissive nature of the novel of manners. Novel of manners means a novel dominated by social customs, manners, conventions, and habits of a definite social class. Such kind of fiction are called novel of manners. That is, a novel dominated by social customs, manners, conventions, and habits of a definite social class. That is, the modes of a specific group described in detail and with great accuracy become powerful controls over characters, etc. Such type of fiction is called a novel of manners. And Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice is the best example of the of this genre, that is novel of manners. And the novel of sensibility, that is, the novel of sensibility means it is an 18th century literary genre. It celebrates the emotional and intellectual concepts of sentiment, sentimentalism, and sensibility. Such kind of fiction is called a novel of sensibility. That means the such kind of novel exploits the reader's capacity for tenderness, compassion, etc. That is something relates with the sentimental or a sentimentalism, sensibility, sentiment, etc. Such kind of novels are called novel of sensibility. So this Gothic novel can be seen as a response to the meekness of the novel of manners and the novel of sensibility. And the revived interest in the Middle Ages and a respect for the superior solemnity of their superstitions led to the rise of Gothic novel. That is the revived interest in the Middle Ages, their belief, their custom, their culture, and a respect for the superior solemnity of their superstitions that led to the rise of this particular literary form, Gothic novel. Then the usual setting of a Gothic novel is a dilapidated medieval castle or a monastery with a concealed horrors. Setting of a Gothic novel is a dilapidated medieval castle. What do you mean by dilapidated? Dilapidated meaning in a state of disrepair or ruin. That is in a state of ruin as a result of age or neglect. Such kind of medieval castle is normally used as a setting of Gothic novel, or a monastery with the concealed horrors. That means monastery with the hidden mysteries, etc. So the usual setting of a Gothic novel is a dilapidated, that is a ruined medieval castle or a monastery with hidden mysteries, that is with the concealed horrors. Best example is Annie Radcliffe's The Mysteries of Udolpho. And Anne Radcliffe's The Mysteries of Udolpho, 1790 for publication. And it involves a beautiful heroine beset by dark shadows, strange noises, and a candle that keeps blowing out. That is the plot or the storyline of The Mysteries of Udolpho. That is the traditional plot in Udolpho involves a beautiful heroine beset by dark shadows, strange noises, and a candle that keeps blowing out. The words dark shadows, strange noises, and a candle. From these words itself, we can understand that the nature of Gothic novel, what kind of novel it is. It is something related with that mysteries or horrors or something like the dark shadows. Then strange noises and a candle. Yes, from these simple words, we can understand that what kind of novel these Gothic novels are. Then sexuality, elemental passions, and fear was central to the Gothic novel. Sexuality. Second one, elemental passions and fear was central to the Gothic novel. And this particular form was immensely popular between 1760s and 1830s. Matthew G. Lewis, The Monk. The Monk is an example, that is 1796 work, cast away all inhibitions in portraying diabolism and incestuous rape. Portraying diabolism. Diabolism means worship of a devil. And incestuous rape means something related with the sexuality, sexual relations. So Matthew G. Lewis, The Monk, that is a famous work, The Monk, cast away or thrown away all inhibitions in portraying diabolism. Diabolism means this worship of the devil and incestuous rape. At present, the Gothic is perceived as a particular outlook towards art. Today, the term Gothic or the adjective Gothic or this particular literary form is perceived as a particular outlook towards art. Many novels which do not have a medieval setting and which are set in grotesque, claustrophobic terrains have been termed Gothic. Many novels which do not have a medieval setting and which are set in grotesque, claustrophobic terrains have been termed as Gothic novels. Grotesque meaning distorted or ugly or deformed, etc. Claustrophobic terrains in the sense means some mysterious places that evokes fear in the mind of the readers. So such kind of settings, many novels which do not have a medieval setting and which are set in this grotesque, claustrophobic terrains have been termed Gothic. For example, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Daphne du Maurier's Rebecca, and novels by Bronte sisters. Bronte sisters, Charlotte Bronte, Emily Bronte, Annie Bronte, Bronte sisters. Their novels are considered as Gothic novels. Then Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights is written in this tradition. Wuthering Heights, it's 1847 publication. It is a famous novel. Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte is written in this tradition. And in the 19th century, the Gothic tradition flourished in stories and novels by Edgar Allan Poe, Bram Stoker, Sheridan Le Fanu, and many others. Then Jane Austen's Northanger Abbey is considered as a parody to the Gothic novel. Then the Gothic mode has been looked at as revolutionary. The major debate of the age was the tussle between rationality and imagination. The major debate of the age was the tussle between rationality and imagination. The Gothic novel form was a critique of the realism of the novel form and the age's confidence in rationality. It is believed that this particular literary form was a critique of the realism of the novel. Realism of the novel form and the age's confidence in rationality. That is when we discussed in the when we discuss historical novel. I already told you the mid 90s and 20th century. We can see the formation of realistic novels. That is depiction of realistic elements in the novel. So here the Gothic novel form was a critique of the realism of the novel form and the age's confidence in rationality. But Radcliffe gave rational explanations to the horrors in her novels. Why she used such horror elements in her novels, that she gave a definite explanation. But Horace Walpole did not care to give such explanation. And the Gothic continues to be popular through works like Faulkner's A Rose for Emily and Hitchcock's classic movie Psycho, etc. So, I think all of you understand Gothic novel. What is this genre, literary form, mean, etc. Gothic, the term, what is the meaning of the Gothic? The word Gothic derives from Goths, and what the style, that is the adjective, also signifies monstrous, barbarous, disorderly style in art that departs from the Greco-Roman tradition. And moreover, this sexuality, then elemental passions, then this horror or mysteries, fear, that was central to the Gothic novel. I think all of you understand this session, and there is a homework for you. Homework is define historical and Gothic novel. Write your homework and send back to me. Thank you. Have a nice day. See you again.